What up, everybody? You know, this is about the Diddy trial on the way coming up. How do I feel about it? Man. I don't like to see, my people, my race be in the tabloids for doing any kind of wrong. I wish that that could be completely erased, but it just doesn't happen. And it's highly unfortunate. At the end of the day, before I even get to the whole Diddy situation and how I feel about it, I definitely want to acknowledge the fact of it's upsetting because the things that he partaked in allegedly, and all these people that's coming out and saying their story about him, you kind of destroy and defeat situations with your kids and what they're trying to build for their futures. They're always going to be looked at a certain way because of all of this monstrosity that you've caused in certain cases. I won't say all of it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But there's a lot. And I always say when there's smoke, there's fire. The only thing I could go off of is like Gene Deal. Shout out to Gene Deal. Cassie situations, even rest in peace to Craig Mack, things that he was saying. I really studied these interviews and these videos for a long period of time, especially through Gene Deal, 110%. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, Gene Dale didn't know what he was talking about. Gene Dale knew exactly what he was talking about. I think personally, just Gene Dale in certain cases, I think there's more that he know. But hey, to each his own. But I would say for the Sons allegedly, if they were held responsible for it and they were involved in it, yo man, I mean, that's a tough cookie, a tough situation, and I hope that's not the case. And, at the end of the day, you hurt a lot of people behind it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. And that goes to anybody that's doing this type of Diddy stuff and you making people, slaves or whatever. Like, all this, like, I already know the world is full of chaos, but it just sucks that happens. But if they were involved in it, yeah, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, I don't know. But it's unfortunate for like the innocent that had nothing to do with it. Like the little girls had nothing to do with it at all. And they're going to be looked at a certain way because of their father's situations. When does it take for an adult, especially somebody who's a leader, to kind of take ownership and start making changes for the sake of the better of their families? After a while, when you become the fatherly figure, and I didn't have a father figure. Like, I did, but I didn't. He died early. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to a father and knowing the fact that you pretty much are the person that majority of kids go to for leadership, and you can't give them the right information because you in your own little world and you do all these kind of things, like, you're not benefiting nothing for them. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, my goal, even as a father to this very day, is pretty much anything I do, any decision I make, every step that I'm doing, I gotta be understanding that I have kids that are looking at me, especially they're up in age, and they're looking at a role model for their future to make sure whoever they're choosing in their life to be with them is the right person. Now if I'm out here wilding out, got all these different girls, all these different, and this is not taking shots. This is just my preference of how I look at things. And I got kids all over the place, and I'm doing all this wild stuff. What type of messages am I sending to them? Evidently, I'm making it seem like it's okay to be doing these kind of things, and it's not. So, my prayers go to them. Now, as far as this Diddy situation, dude, like, for a long period of time, looking at how Biggie died, and I'm not accusing you. It's just the fact of how power and how much of a demand and how much of a want people get harmed behind wanting power and wanting these things for themselves and don't realize, like, how much it could damage other people around you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you sat there and said, you wanted, allegedly from what Gene Dale said, that you wanted Biggie and Pac dead. I don't know. But if any of these things were said at any given point, and if they were true, you reap what you sow behind that situation. And not only that, the Cassie kick, all these things that happen, man, it's just disgusting, dude. It's disturbing. And, it's highly unfortunate that we have to all, because we all take an L at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like if he's I think he's done monstrous things, 110%. But it takes an L within the community, because it's like, dang, another mogul, somebody who we looked up to. Well, I didn't, but people who did. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, it's unfortunate that the situation is what it is. You know? So, but that comes to show, to tell you, you should be your own mogul. You should be your own provider. You should be your own leader. You know what I mean? And